Hey guys, and welcome to Faithwerks Designs. I'm Faith, and today we are talking about a really exciting new pattern from K&A Custom Fabrics. Now they have a birthday box coming out very soon, and they asked me to make a pattern for it. So we decided on the Brinley. She's a very cute little tiny bag. So let's talk about her, and then I will let you know about the box and how you can get the pattern. It has a really cute front panel flap that you could use a panel for the smaller panels like 8x16 or the tumbler panels. You could use those for this. You will get all the fabric in the box. We'll talk about that in a second. So you've got your cute little flap here with a magnetic snap. Your flap attaches to the back of your panel, and it's out of the main top, which is going to make this really domestic friendly, and it's a really good for beginners because it's so fast to put together. There's not a ton of pieces and hardware. So when we open it up, on the sides you can kind of see that it kind of squishes. It's so cute. So she squishes on the side. Took the strap off so I could show you guys how she kind of squishes on the side. I wanted her to be like super cute and squishy, so I added these fashion snaps onto the side. Now don't get scared. I'm going to show you all the stuff that you're going to need, and I'm going to show you how to install them. So you're going to need some fashion snaps, or if you have a plastic cam snaps or something like that, you can use those as well. So you've got your little fashion snaps on the side. So when you look into it and the fashion snaps are snapped, it looks like a cute little bag. But if you open them up, you have a nice wide opening to put all of your goodies inside. I was just trying really hard to find a way to make it cute and tiny, but expand, and so that's when the fashion snaps came into play. So I have got a zipper pocket in there as well, and like I said, this one is really beginner friendly and domestic friendly, which we have been trying to do. I just can't help myself. I have my industrial and she's just amazing. So it's really hard. Anyway, I hope you guys like the Brinley. So let's talk birthday box really quickly. The birthday box is going to be coming out not on their website, but actually on their Facebook page. That's how they've been doing all of their boxes. Unlike their advent calendar, this one you guys are actually going to be able to tell what's going to be in the box before you purchase. They're going to be showing everything. So you will see the Brinley pattern. You will see all of the cutesy wootsy stuff that's in it. There's a lot of really cute stuff in it, and I am not at liberty to say. So there's some really cute stuff in it. We couldn't get all the stuff in by the time I needed to make the video, so sorry. Otherwise I would show you, but make sure that you go on their Facebook page and make sure that you like it, follow it, and interact. You have to do all of those things so that Facebook knows that that's something that you want to see or not. Otherwise they won't let you see the box, and you guys want to see the box. The box is going to have a bunch of different things. It will have the fabric for the Brinley. It will not be the Wednesday Adam fabric. It's going to be something else, and I believe it's going to be sewing related. So you'll have all of the hardware that you need to make a Brinley. You'll have all that stuff, fabric, everything. So while you wait for the box, let's go ahead and check this bag out. Alright, let's go over our pieces for our Brinley. First things first, you're going to have your back panel with your upper back panel. I believe it's been a while since I looked at the names, but these two are going to go together. Our flap is going to go in between these two to just kind of keep it out of the seams. This is how it's going to go when it goes onto your bag, so as you're cutting fabric out, just kind of be mindful of that. We have got our front of our bag. We have got our flap, and then we have got our outer gusset. Those are all of my main outer pieces. You'll also see in the video that the back of mine are black. I have flatlined all of my outer fabrics in waterproof canvas just to kind of give them a little stiffer feel. Flatlining is basically putting two pieces of fabric together and then sewing around them to make them into one piece of material. For your lining, you're going to have your flap, your gusset, two of your inside lining pieces, that'll be your front and your back. You'll need your two pieces for your zipper pocket. For your hardware, you're going to need some webbing, one magnetic snap, one number 5 zipper, and number 5 zipper tape. You're also going to need 2 1-inch D-rings. You're also going to need either fashion snaps or some kind of snaps on the side of your bag. They can be plastic snaps, they can be fashion snaps, whatever you want to use. But you're going to need 2 of each. So you need the 2 female ends and then the 2 male ends to be able to put everything together. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our flap lining and our outer front panel. In your pattern, you should either have a mark or a measurement to go by to find out where you're going to be putting your magnetic snap. So for our front piece, I'm going to do this on the back. I went ahead and I poked a hole through with my hole punch, and I'm just going to make a little dot there. I'm going to grab one of my washers, place the circle on top of that dot, and then draw those 2 lines. Now I'm going to take my lining for my flap and do the exact same thing. Place it down, make a mark, grab a washer, make my side marks. Then I'm going to grab my seam ripper and open those holes up. Alright, so for our flap, I'm going to open those holes up. If you wanted to, you could grab some Peltex and put that behind your magnetic snap if you wanted to, but the right side of your female end is going to go through the right side of your lining fabric. So it should look like that. Put your washer on, and then you're going to take the legs of your magnet and push them down like that. You're going to do the same thing to your front panel. Alright, I'm going to grab my male end and put it in the front like so. So the front part will be there. We're going to take our washer and place it there. Again, if you want, you can back this with a piece of Peltex. So you will have your flap and your front panel all prepped and ready to go. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our outer panel and our lining panel that we just put our magnetic snap on, and we're going to put them right sides together. What we're going to do is we're going to sew around all 3 sides, leaving this top piece open so that we can turn it inside out through there. I've got my flaps right side to right side. I'm going to be sewing 1/4 inch. Then we're going to take our flap and turn it inside out. If you find that your round edges don't lay quite as flat as you would like, you can always take your pinking shears and then trim those back so that the corners will lay nice and flat. But mine are doing just fine. Alright, you can clip this down if you'd like so that it'll lay nice and flat. I'm going to go ahead and just do it. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, so I have extended my stitch length to a 4, and then I'm just going to top stitch around the edges, and then you'll also want to stitch across the very top, just kind of closing that up. Alright, so we have got our front flap all ready to go. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half like that. I am going to make a little snip so that I know where the center of my flap is. I'm going to also grab my bottom and my lower back panels, and I am going to make a snip in the center of them as well so that I can match everything up. Alright, now that I have my snips, what you're going to need to do is with the flap wrong side facing up, you're going to need to match up those snips so that your back panel and your flap are together and the flap is nice and in the center. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and at 1/8 of an inch, you could go ahead and base stitch this on if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and take the upper right side to right side of my lining, and I am matching up the center notches. We're going to take this to the sewing machine and we are going to sew at 1/4 of an inch to connect all 3 of those pieces together. I've got my stitch length at 3. I'm just going to sew right along where I clipped with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Alright, so we've got all of that stitched down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our flap and our upper and we're going to pull them to the right. Our seam allowance should be going that way, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It should be pointing down. I've got my stitch length to a 4, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to top stitch all the way down. That'll keep our flap up. You're also going to need a set of fashion snaps. Now you can use fashion snaps or you can use plastic snaps. It's up to you, whatever you want to use, but that's what kind of gives us the shape of the side of our bag. So you're going to need 2 of your female, 2 of your male, and your caps that go on each side of them. I will show you in the video how to install these. These are actually really easy, but you are also going to need, if you're using the fashion snaps, you're going to need the tool to be able to install them. So if you don't have those, this is not sponsored, but Cam Snap has all the little presses. If you've already got a cam press, they have all the additions that you need to be able to put those on. Alright, so I have got my back panel and my front flap all attached and ready to go. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our bottom gusset and our bottom gusset template. Why do we need this template? We are going to add our fashion snaps. In your pattern you should have 2 holes on each side. You're going to need to use a hole cutter and cut those out, and then match up your gussets and make your marks. Then I'm going to take my hole punch and I'm going to cut all of those out. Once you've got your holes out, we need to get our cam press, all of our fashion snaps, and our tools to be able to put them together. And I will show you how we're going to do this. Your cam snap die that looks like this is for this piece. This goes inside of here like that. Your die that looks like this will get the cap. Your die that looks like that will get this cap, and I'm trying to remember, yeah, it will go on like that. Then your last piece, your stem, this is the piece that goes on. I'm going to grab one of my caps and insert that into my cam snap, and you can just go ahead and put it on. It should be right side of your cap to the inside of your die. That's going to go on the top. Now that you've got your socket installed, you want to put your cap in. So this one, the die just sits right down in there, and then you want to put the cap so that the flat end is face down. You're going to take one of your holes and you want your cap to be on the inside of your bag. So I'm going to put the cap up through my lining. And it should look like that. So your socket will be up top, cap will be on the bottom. Now on the very opposite end, so you've got 2 ends of your gusset. On this side of your gusset, we're going to do the same exact thing. So I'm going to get another socket and I'm going to place it into my die just like this. Then I'm going to grab my other cap and I'm going to place it face down just like that. Now on the same side, so this side My cap and socket is on this side, so I'm going to go straight across. Alright, so there's your cap, there's your stud, and you should have those two on the same side. Now we're going to switch these dies out to our other dies. So this one's going to go on the top, and this one is just going to go right down into the bottom. Your cap, stud, I'll put the name up here. Put this in there, up, just straight up, just like that. Now we're going to grab our stem and place it straight up, just like that. We're going to put it through the other hole that is directly across. We want the stem to go up through our lining, so your material will stay right side up. So you should have them and they should look like that. If you want, you can check real quick and just make sure that they snap. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to put that just like that. And then put our stem up, right side up like that. Take our fabric, place it over top. Alright, so you should have two that look like that. We're going to snap them together. Just make sure that when you're adding your snaps that you're not adding two of your caps on one side, or they will not snap. You're going to need your male end and your female end in order for them to snap together. Alright, now we're going to take our bottom panel and we're going to put the edges together, and I am going to find the center and make a snip, a little notch, and I'm going to do that on both sides. Then I am going to grab my back panel and I'm going to fold it in half and find the back center. Now I'm going to match up right side to right side. I'm going to match up my notches, and then I'm going to start clipping around. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I did have to make some snips to make the bottom of the gusset fit just right. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to change my stitch length to a 3, and then I'm just going to sew all the way around my gusset, making sure to back stitch when I start and when I stop. Alright, we have got our gusset attached to our back panel. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our front panel, and this one should have our magnetic snap. We're going to put right side to right side, and we're going to find the center so that we can make a snip so that we can match up our gusset to our front panel. Now we're going to do right side to right side. Alright, I still have my stitch length at a 3. I'm going to sew with the other side of the gusset facing up and this gusset facing down. Alright, so we have got our outer all done, and I forgot to put on our D-ring. So what we're going to do real quick, because I knew I was going to forget that, I'm going to grab our lighting really quickly, and I'm going to grab my webbing and my D-rings. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your D-ring on just like this, fold it in half, and then clip it to the center of your lining. You should have done this to your outer, but I knew I was going to forget it. You just get whipping along, and it's fine to do it to the lining. It's not that big a deal as long as we don't completely forget them. So put your D-ring on in between your webbing, close it up, find the center, clip them on, and then I'm going to take them to the sewing machine real quick. At 1/8 of an inch, I'm just going to base stitch both of these on to my lining. Alright, so we have got our D-rings on, and that way we won't forget for later. Set that aside. We're going to grab our 2 zipper pieces, or 2 zipper panels. We're going to take one of them, and on the wrong side, we're going to make our marks to put our zipper on. I'm going to line up my ruler to my zipper panel, and I'm going to measure 1 inch in on this side, 1 inch in on this side, and then I'm going to connect those 3 lines. Then I'm going to move the ruler up 1/2 inch, and then connect the whole thing. So I should have one long rectangle. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab one of our inside lining pieces, and 1/2 inch down, we're going to put our zipper pocket panel. Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and make center marks and then make sure that you're directly in the middle, but I am just going to kind of eyeball it. We're going to take this to the sewing machine, and we're just going to sew around that rectangle. Alright, we're just going to sew all the way around with a 3 stitch length. Alright, so we have got our zipper rectangle all ready to go. We're going to fold it in half. If you wanted to, you could draw a line down the center and cut it open. It's up to you. We free eye around here. We're going to stop about 1/2 inch from the edge. And cut all the way down the other end as well. And then I'm going to grab my sharp scissors and trim to the corners. Try not to get your threads, and make sure that you get all the way to the corners so it'll lay down nice when we turn it inside out. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to turn this over, and we are going to put some double-sided tape on this side. I really should be using 1/2 inch, but that's alright. You're going to put it on each side of it, just like that. I'm going to take my pocket and turn it inside out. If you have all cotton material, you could always take this to the ironing board and iron your materials down. Instead, I'm using waterproof canvas, so I use that double-sided tape just to kind of make it lay down where it's supposed to. I'm going to take that double-sided tape off, or the paper off, I should say. Come here. Take your other side off, if you can get it to come off. I don't know why, cotton always gives me a fit. Alright, so we're going to just push that down on the first row I did, and then take the waterproof canvas and push it down. Alright, so you've got the start of your zipper pocket. We're going to grab our zipper, and I'm going to put 1/4 inch double-sided tape on both sides of my zipper tape so that I can line it up on the back. Alright, now we're going to put our zipper on. I always like to put the double-sided tape on first so that the zipper lays nice and flat. Whenever you put the zipper on, the zipper kind of has that little like woof on the side. So I'm going to put my left side in first, and then my right side. And you want to make sure that your zipper has a nice flat end there. You know that you've done it right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our zipper tape, or our zipper paper off. I'm going to lay that down on my sewing desk, and then I'm going to put my zipper pouch on top of it and just kind of push it down. And that is not even. Alright, that's better. I'm going to lift this up, get your zipper out of the way, and then take that paper off and lay your zipper down. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew all the way around our zipper to stitch it in. Alright, and we're just going to sew 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. I just use my sewing foot as a guide and just get really close to that zipper to make sure that I catch it. Alright, so our zipper is nice and sewn in there. Next thing we're going to do is with the right side of the zipper panel facing us, we're going to take our second zipper panel and put it right side to right side. Now, do not sew this all the way closed. We want to leave the bottom open so that we can turn our bag inside out through that. It's going to be a small opening, but it's a small bag, so it shouldn't be too bad. We're going to go to the sewing machine and laying it down like this, we're going to stitch this way, around here, and then back up again. Also, when I get to the sewing machine, I'm going to fold about 1/4 of an inch up of my lining so that when I turn everything inside out and it's time to top stitch, it will close better. So I'm going to do both sides like that. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do it now. So you want to fold it under. It'll look weird like that, but it'll make sense later on. So let's go to the sewing machine. I've still got my 3 stitch length, and we're going to be sewing 1/4 of an inch. Alright, we've got our zipper pocket in and ready to go. The next thing that I did was I folded it in half, and then I found the center and I made a little notch. You're going to want to take your lining gusset, fold it in half, and make a notch on both sides of your gusset like that. Now we're going to match up notches to notches, right side to right side of our gussets. Our gusset. Alright, so we are going to attach our gusset lining to our gusset zipper panel. I'm going to make sure that my zipper panel lining is out of the way because I might accidentally get it towards the bottom. So we're going to start sewing at 1/4 of an inch. And then as we get closer to the bottom, I'm going to increase my seam allowance to about 1/2 an inch. Alright, so we've got our gusset attached. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the other lining panel. I went ahead and folded it in half, made a notch at the bottom so I would know where the center is. Now I'm going to match up notches to notches, right side to right side, and then I'm just going to clip all the way around. Alright, let's attach that gusset. Still got a 3 stitch length, and I'm going to start at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and go down to 1/2 an inch and then back up to 1/4 as I finish up. I've turned my outer panel right side out. I'm going to take the flap and I'm just going to kind of roll it up with the zipper away from you. The flap is going to go on that side so that when you're looking into your purse, the zipper will be there. So we're just going to put the outer into the lining and then just start clipping all the way around. Let's take this to the sewing machine and sew around 1/4 of an inch. Alright, so we're just going to sew around with a 3 stitch length at 1/4 of an inch. Alright, so we've got it all ready to go. I'm going to pull my outer out. And then I'm going to open up my lining. And hopefully you left your zipper open. Completely forgot to mention that. Okay, so my flap is going to be right there. I can pull it out first. And then I'm going to birth the rest of the bag. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go around the edges and we're going to push that lining in, and then I'm going to clip it so that it'll stay where it needs to go, and then we're going to top stitch all the way around. I'm not going to close up the zipper pocket until we are all done. Alright, with a 4-stitch length we're going to go all the way around. 1/8 of an inch around the edge. Alright, so we've got everything top stitched. Now we're going to take our zipper pocket and we're going to close it up. And you see how we folded it over earlier? It's going to make it so much nicer when we go to close it. It just kind of wants to naturally fall there, or fold over there. So we're just going to make those two sides come together. Just like that. And now I am going to change my stitch length back to a 3. And then I'm just going to sew across, closing this shut. Alright, so I went ahead and I stuck my zipper pouch back in. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to put your little snaps together. And it may take a minute for the body to get used to doing that, especially if you're using webbing in between them. But that is what gives it its cute little shape. So you're going to put your magnets together. And you've got your little Brinley, and she's so cute. Alright, now we need to do our strap. So you're going to need 60 inches of webbing, or I thought that the Brinleys look really cute with a chain. I had a few at the store with a chain. So you could do a chain if you don't want to have to go through doing all the webbing and stuff. But in the directions I show you with webbing, so we're going to do webbing today. So I've got 60 inches of webbing, I've got 2 swivel clasps, and a strap adjuster. I'm going to grab my strap adjuster and my strap, put it through one side, back down the other, giving myself about an inch, inch and a half of tail there. Then I'm going to, with that facing up, I'm going to go down to the other end and add my swivel clasp so that it looks like that. Keeping everything straight, we're going to go up the side that we folded over. We're going to go up through that side, back down again. We're going to get our other swivel clasp and we're going to put it on like that, and then fold it over also inch, inch and a half. So it should look like that. I'm going to take these to the sewing machine and sew just a little square around there to close them up. So let's go do that. Got a 3-stitch length, and I am just going to sew a little square to keep the strap together. Alright guys, so what did you think? I hope you guys liked the pattern. It was very easy and simple, which I needed after I did my Aspen travel bag. I was so exhausted, so I'm glad this was the next video that I had to work on because I needed something easy. So it's a nice, easy sew. It is domestic friendly. It is a fast sew. And it's really, really cute. So if you have a little one that's been wanting some of your bags, you can make this pattern for them. Or like I said, if there's a bigger girl out there that loves a smaller purse, then you've got her set too. The box will be dropping on K&A Custom Fabrics Facebook page, so make sure that you interact with the page so that you won't miss that. They're going to have a lot of stuff in the box. I've got a few sneak peeks, but I'm not at liberty to share just yet. So make sure that you watch their page and make sure that you purchase the box. With every purchase of the box, you are supporting not only K&A Custom Fabrics, but you are also supporting Faithwerks Designs, because my patterns will be in those boxes and you'll be supporting 2 small businesses. Thank you guys for joining us again on Faithwerks Designs. Bye guys.